Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Yesterday night, Manchester United beat West Ham 1-0 at Old Trafford in the FA Cup 5th round. We have progressed to the FA Cup quarter-finals for the 7th consecutive year. The goal came from Scott McTominay in extra time. It was a good volley from Scott McTominay, and it was a good flick on from Marcus Rashford to find him. I thought Scott McTominay did well when he came on. Scott McTominay's enjoyed a few good games for Man United. I think that's what his 7th goal now this season. But it certainly weren't the best of games. We obviously dominated the possession, especially in the first half. I thought we also pressed well and kept the ball well. We did have some chances in the game. Mason Greenwood had a shot that was blocked. I thought Mason Greenwood looked bright for us. Mason Greenwood has done very, very well recently. Anthony Martial, he had some chances in the game. Nemanja Matic had a chance that went well over the bar. Rashford, he had a very, very good chance in the game. It was one-on-one with Fabianski, and it was a good save from Fabianski. Victor Lindelof, he also had a very, very good chance from a header. Good save again from Fabianski, actually tipped it on to the post. I thought Alex Telles, he had a very, very good game. Obviously, he started at left back. Alex Telles showed very good attacking intent. He got in some decent positions, put some dangerous crosses into the box, and I thought he made some good overlapping runs. And Alex Telles doesn't play that much, does he? You know, he hasn't played nowhere near as much as I expected, but don't forget at one point he did have COVID. Harry Maguire, I thought he enjoyed a good game. Solid defensively. He actually got man of the match from the BBC. Victor Lindelof, I think he did well defensively, and like I mentioned, had a good chance in the game. And Wan-Bissaka, I thought he did well defensively, but he didn't get forward a lot, did he really? And Wan-Bissaka did have a careless moment when he almost scored an own goal. Dean Henderson, he didn't have anything to do in goal, but he made some good aerial claims in that second half. Fred, I thought he looked very, very energetic. I thought he got forward well at times in the game, but I thought his passing was a bit poor. Donny van de Beek, he struggled. He did have some nice touches in the game. By the way, Solskjaer disagrees with the criticism of Donny van de Beek. And Solskjaer did actually have a chat with Donny van de Beek to show why, obviously, he's not starting for Man United. We brought substitutions on in the game. We obviously saw Luke Shaw come on. I thought Luke Shaw again made an impact when he came on. We saw Brandon Williams come on. We saw Edison Cavani come on. We saw Scott McTominay come on. And we also saw Bruno Fernandes come on. And again, Bruno Fernandes made a fantastic impact when he came on. Solskjaer made 6 changes from the 3-3 draw with Everton. West Ham did very, very well defensively. They made some very, very good blocks. There was a lot of blocks in that first half. West Ham actually looked better at the start of the second half. But they didn't really offer a lot going forward. At the start of the second half, the likes of Souček got the ball more. They were getting Declan Rice on the ball more and Pablo Fornals. Craig Dawson, I've got to say, he did very, very well for West Ham. He made quite a few blocks. That Johnson did well when he came on for West Ham. Looks very assertive in his play. Ogbonna, he went off injured in the game. I think he went off injured in the first 15 minutes. Yarmolenko, obviously he was up top for West Ham. He went off injured. And Issa Diop also went off because he collided heads with Anthony Martial. But I expected Man United to win this game. It's going to be interesting to see who we get in the quarter-final. The quarter-final draw is on Thursday night. But certainly the FA Cup is a priority for Man United because it is a chance for us getting a trophy on the board. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager because we haven't won a trophy since 2017. And a club of our stature want to be winning trophies. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously give his perception on the game. He's satisfied with the progression getting past West Ham. Obviously Solskjaer wants us to get to the final. We are the second most successful team in FA Cup history because we have won 12 FA Cups. The last time we won the FA Cup was back under Louis van Gaal era, back in 2016. We got to the FA Cup semis last season, obviously lost to Chelsea 3-1. But like I said, in regards to West Ham, West Ham are enjoying a good season. And David Moyes is doing well in his second spell. Moyes was obviously reuniting with Manchester United yesterday night. I think West Ham are 5th or 6th in the Premier League, and that's very, very good to their standards. But yeah, we've beaten West Ham now twice. Beating them in the Cup yesterday. And we also beaten them in the league earlier on this season 3-1. We come from behind in that game. West Ham have only won the FA Cup 3 times. The last time they won the FA Cup was 41 years ago. Back in 1980. But like I said on the preview, we've got a very, very good home record in the FA Cup. We haven't lost at Old Trafford in the FA Cup since 2015, and that's when Swansea beat us 2-1. On my next video, I will be giving you my player ratings from this game. Obviously, our next match is West Brom away on Sunday, and we should be winning that game against West Brom because, you know, West Brom are a poor outfit. West Brom's current manager is Sam Allardyce. Obviously, they appointed him in earlier on this season to replace Slaven Bilic because Slaven Bilic got sacked. The last time we played West Brom at the Hawthorns was back in December 2017, and we beaten them 2-1. We had that very, very good game at the Hawthorns back in 2013, ended 5-5. That was actually Sir Alex Ferguson's last game in charge of Man United. Obviously, we beat West Brom earlier on this season at Old Trafford 1-0. And after West Brom, it is Real Sociedad in the Europa League. I think it says we've got to play the first leg against Real Sociedad in Turin due to the travel restrictions in Spain. And, you know, like I said, you know, the Europa League is a chance of a trophy. Obviously, a lot of United fans now, and even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself, has disregarded the title because Solskjaer did say after our 3-3 draw with Everton, we shouldn't be considered as title chasers. And obviously City are 5 points in front of us, plus they've got a game in hand, so it's looking very, very imminent that Manchester City are going to win the Premier League. But Solskjaer wasn't mentioning the title race up until that admission. You know, he was just taking one game at a time. I was disappointed that we didn't beat Everton because we should have beaten Everton, you know, because we squandered a 2-goal lead. You know, we was leading twice in that game, wasn't we? But obviously, you know, it was 2 mistakes from De Gea in the game against Everton. So, effectively, he cost us that game. And don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently warned David De Gea that his place is not secure in the Man United team. He says no one's place is safe at Man United. You know, they've obviously got to earn their place by obviously putting good performances out. We obviously should have beat Sheffield as well. That's, you know, we shouldn't have lost that. So if we'd have beaten Everton and Sheffield, I'd have still said, look, you know, we are in this title race. I think we will win another title at some point, maybe next season, maybe next couple of seasons. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So we haven't won it now for like 8 years. But I think Solskjaer is really, really improving as Manchester United manager. You know, obviously he has improved players that weren't underperforming before. You know, you've obviously got Luke Shaw that's really, really improving. You know, Luke Shaw's doing well defensively. He's getting forward. He's getting into good positions. He's putting good crosses into the box. And Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. You know, Eric Bailly has done well when he's played. Obviously, Bailly didn't play any part yesterday night because he was out with injury. But I certainly prefer Eric Bailly to Victor Lindelof. I like the way Bailly shows the ability to play out from the back. He can intercept well and he's very effective in the air. You've got Wan-Bissaka, you know, he's improving as well. He's getting forward more. Didn't get forward a lot yesterday, but I mean recently in the league, defensively, Wan-Bissaka's always been superb. Dean Henderson's doing well in the games he's played in, and I think at some point Dean Henderson will become our number one, because Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him. So I think he is reliable enough. You've got Fred. Aspects of his game are really, really improving. Paul Pogba. A lot of his performances have been very, very good since he came back from that ankle injury that I had earlier on in the season. Obviously, Paul Pogba didn't play any part yesterday night, because Solskjaer did reveal prior to the game that Paul Pogba's got a thigh injury and he's going to be out for a few weeks. Don't forget, Paul Pogba got voted Player of the Month for January. Reflects on that fantastic goal he scored against Fulham. Because we beat Fulham 2-1 earlier on this season. Solskjaer insists that Paul Pogba's happy at Man United. We have held talks over his future, and Solskjaer suggested Paul Pogba could sign a new contract. So there is a chance that Paul Pogba will stay at the club potentially past the summer, but there's also a chance he will leave the club in the summer. Marcus Rashford, he's also really, really improving as well. Probably there's still aspects of his game that he's got to improve on, Marcus Rashford. Maybe his finishing's got to improve, because he has been some games recently where he hasn't been clinical enough in front of goal, and every time he's got in front of goal, his finishing hasn't only been poor, his decision-making's been poor, and his passing in that has been poor. He did it yesterday, didn't he? He showed his skill at times, but I thought he was a bit greedy on the ball. And, Mason Greenwood, he's been doing very, very well recently, but still hasn't scored recently. Ollie's been defending Mason Greenwood a lot, though, this season, hasn't he? Didn't really have a perception on him earlier on this season, because don't forget he had personal issues at one point. He had injury, and at one point he was out with illness. The start of this season, we give Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt. And just performances in general have just really, really improved. Solskjaer deserves credit. He's got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. Obviously lost that to Manchester City 2-0. We've been exceptional away from home in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We are unbeaten in our last 18 Premier League away games. We was unbeaten in 13 Premier League games in a row until Sheffield United had beaten us. But yeah, I am certainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. I think Solskjaer is going to be given at least another season at the football club. This is his second full season at the moment. Don't forget, last season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season, he got us qualification for the Champions League. He got us third place, the second highest we finished since Ferguson, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. He's got us to 4 semi-finals in total, so if we get to the FA Cup semi-final, that'll be the 5th semi-final he has got us to as Manchester United manager. Like I updated you yesterday, Man United will wait until the end of the season to begin contract talks with Solskjaer. He says we will hand him a new 2-year deal on one condition, and that's if we qualify for the Champions League, and obviously if we keep pushing for the title. Solskjaer has around 16 months left on his current contract. I think he does deserve a new contract though, with the progression he's made in the last year or so. Solskjaer did sign a 3-year contract when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. we obviously give Solskjaer the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. But yeah, Solskjaer's been Man United manager now over 2 years. Reflecting how long he's been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job. Man United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he came to us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. And Solskjaer's record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He's managed over 100 games as Man United manager in all competitions. Don't forget that game against Everton in the league recently was Solskjaer's 100th Premier League game as manager. I think this year's summer transfer window is very, very important for Manchester United because we do need to make more signings. And I've already given you the areas where Manchester United need to strengthen. I think we need a striker, we need a midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. Solskjaer did recently say that our transfer plans could be affected because of the coronavirus pandemic. But despite the pandemic, I'm still expecting us to make signings in the summer transfer window. And Ed Woodward must back Solskjaer in the summer transfer window. Woodward has come out several times to support Ole. Even when we was enjoying them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward came out and said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. But Woodward's promised that he will back him. He said towards the end of last year that he will back him with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. But I think the transfer window Solskjaer's enjoyed so far, he has not been backed enough. Because he obviously hasn't got all the players that he wanted to recommend in. Don't get me wrong, he has made some good signings. He spent over £200 million at the club. And in the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January of last year, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. And in the summer transfer window of last year, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani in, Facundo Pellistri in, and Amad Diallo Traore in. And yeah, he's brought a few young players in, and I do like the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has promoted the youth. I think a lot of Man United fans were infuriated that we didn't see Amad Diallo Traore come on yesterday night. I said it won't be too long now anyway until he's in the first team squad. Amad Diallo Traore's made 2 appearances for the under-23s and he's done very, very well. It was a disappointing January transfer window for us, I've got to say. Because we only saw one arrival and that was Amad Diallo Traore. But Solskjaer did say a few times during the January transfer window that he wasn't expecting any signings. But to Solskjaer's credit, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in as Man United manager. Obviously, we saw a few players leave in the January transfer window. Obviously, we saw Jesse Lingard go out on loan to West Ham. Jesse Lingard obviously couldn't play yesterday because it was his parent club. I think actually West Ham could get Lingard permanently. Not so long ago scored twice on his debut for West Ham in their 3-1 win against Villa. Odi Nagalo said his farewells to the club in January. Teden Mengi went out on loan. We let Marcus Rojo go. And we also let Timothy Fosu-Mensah go to Bayer Leverkusen. And the other transfer window Solskjaer's enjoyed, we've seen a lot of other players leave the club as well. You already know the news on Jadon Sancho. I give you the news on him not so long ago. Do you think there's a chance Man United will sign him in the summer, or do you think Jadon Sancho to Man United is now off? Bild recently said that Dortmund reduced their asking price to 88 million for Sancho. I still think £88 million is far too much for Sancho. I think he's worth between 60 to 70 million. But he said Dortmund were relying on Jadon Sancho's sale, so basically Dortmund have been forced to lower their demands. We're facing transfer competition for Sancho from Chelsea. But last summer Sancho was our number one priority target, but Dortmund wanted £108 million. There's been recent narratives coming out regarding Sergio Ramos, saying that Man United are close to the Sergio Ramos deal. And apparently he says that Sergio Ramos's agent will fly to England next week to finalise a 2-year deal, which could be worth around £200,000 a week. Now, quite a few weeks ago, there was narratives coming out saying that Sergio Ramos wants to join Man United. He's prepared to leave Real Madrid. And he's available on a free because he rejected a new contract from Real Madrid. I'd certainly take Sergio Ramos at Man United. He'd go very, very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. But obviously he'd be only short term because he's 34. Sergio Ramos has been at Real Madrid for a good 16 years now, so he's been a long servant. He's won 22 major honours. He's made over 600 appearances for Real Madrid in all competitions. Real Madrid got him back in 2005 from Sevilla. Real Madrid paid around €27 million. But I actually think Solskjaer's made a new centre-back his priority for the summer transfer window. We definitely do need a centre-back. But like I've said to you, for us to be genuine title contenders, I think we need more signings. We've got to start beating the big teams as well this season. Because we have struggled against the top 6 sides in the Premier League this season. Not only struggled to beat them, we've also... It's a bit like that. We've also, struggled to score goals past them. But like I say, Solskjaer's changed things around at the club. I still think there's things he's got to do at Man United, like I've mentioned before. I still think he's got to identify his best 11. I still think that he's got to give Donny van der Beek more opportunities. Like I said, Donny van der Beek struggled yesterday. He's getting more chances in the cup games. He's not getting many opportunities in the league. He's only started 2 games in the league for us so far, and that was West Ham Southampton. So most of his appearances have come from the bench. But Solskjaer earlier on this season promised Donny van der Beek more game time at Man United, and I think he said prior to the game against Liverpool in the 4th round that Donny van der Beek is unhappy at the club because of his lack of game time. At the end of the day, we got him in a deal worth £40 million, paid £35 million up front, and there was £5 million in add-ons. And I think Solskjaer's got to get his selections right persistently. Now, there has been some games where he has showed tactical flexibility, but on the other side of things, there's been a lot of games where he has been tactically naive. But it's just good that we're seeing consistency now under Solskjaer, because we didn't see consistency for a long, long time, did we? Solskjaer's been criticised a lot as Man United manager, especially earlier on in the season, reflecting how inconsistent we was. And in a way, we do deserve credit for sticking with Solskjaer, because he could have easily have been sacked as Man United manager, because we have endured bad periods under him. I'm still not sure if Solskjaer is a long-term manager for Man United. Obviously, time's going to tell. But whether he succeeds as Man United manager or not, we'll still always adore him, because he is a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Ollie's inheriting players from other managerial eras. You know, there's still a few players here from the Jose Mourinho era. You know, there's not many players here now from Louis van Gaal, but I think there still is a few or something like that. There's only one player from the Moyes era, that's Juan Mata. And there's only, 2 players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and that's Phil Jones and David De Gea. I think in the summer anyway, we'll offload more players. I think Matic could leave in the summer. He's not one of our first choice midfielders, but he still gets his chances. Pogba could still leave in the summer, like I've said, and Juan Mata could leave in the summer. Will Daniel James go? Will Brandon Williams go? I presume Phil Jones will definitely go. You know, he's been out of injury for the last year, but Solskjaer's going to give him a second chance. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.